Alright guys, so we're out here at the Seaside Rideout. We're about to head out actually, still waiting for a few people. So what do you guys think so far now that we're here?
It's cool, man. There's a lot of young guys doing wheelies and stuff, a lot of old guys.
Yeah, they're doing some pretty crazy stuff in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And we got 80's BMX Craig with us, of course.
Yeah, what's up?
We made the trip.
It's a good turnout out here. It's good to be out in Monterey. What is this actually? We're in Seaside.
Seaside, yeah.
Yeah.
It's for someone's birthday. Do you know the guy whose birthday it is?
No, I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? Like Meech or something? Andre, okay.
He gave me like a code name. Oh, he got a code name.
It's like, it was like Meech or something like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I thought he said bleach.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm supposed to call you bleach. Yeah. I wonder what my code name would be. Maybe they have one, they just don't want to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller crowd, but it's kind of nice because it allows us to, you know, ride without all the hassles of having hundreds or thousands of people. So
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to see how it goes. Anyways, okay, so we went on this ride. What was the guy's name for the birthday?
Gleesh?
Gleesh.
It's Gleesh. Yeah. That's his Instagram name. His real name was Andre.
He's from Marina, right?
Yes.
Yep. Happy birthday, man, and great ride. I'm really glad we went. So this was Dylan's and my first ride. And so it started out really cool. Craig from Big Bike BMX came down with his family.
Yep.
And he came to my house, our house, whatever, and hung out with us for a couple hours before, which was really cool. It's so weird to see him on, you know, you're talking to him on the internet. Anyways, he came by, talk shop and everything. Mm-hmm. And then we all went over there. My wife went, my son Cody went, Dylan went.
Craig was there with his wife and his son.
And Oz.
Oz, their dog.
Oz is the dog. Ozzy. His name's Ozzy.
And he rides in the front of his wife's, basket? Yeah.
On all the rides, right?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't move the whole ride. He loves it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
And his son Jackson, him and I got to talk a lot. Really cool kid, man.
Yeah.
He was telling me all about these rides, but you know, here's what I was thinking. I'm learning about so much through this whole process of riding again. And it's like when you build motorcycles, it's not necessarily about, I mean, it's about Harleys and the bikes look really badass and all that, but it gives guys a medium, something to talk about, you know, because we're not really good at dinner with each other, right? Two guys at dinner is like, there's got to be a focal point. And so we showed up. And there's more and more guys showed up, and we all started talking and checking out bikes and stuff. These young guys, the young guy on a Mike Buff Fat Ripper and a guy on a yellow GT.
Yeah.
These two guys were just ripping wheelies off. I mean, they weighed like, just for older guys, don't feel bad because they're like, maybe 90 pounds wet. Their bikes are vertical, but it was really fascinating to watch them ride. But
I felt like it was more of a social thing than just about riding.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the things that surprised me was every time you come up to a stop sign or a light, a couple of guys go out there and block it and you just ride through.
Yeah.
And in motorcycles, to do that, in Harleys, if you're riding, you got to be with a pretty heavy group to be able to block those lights, and it doesn't happen very often. But this was like all the time, and it was just cool, right? We're talking to people as we're riding.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing to do. And it was just fun seeing all the different tricks all these other guys could do, or these different, like,
wheelies.
I don't even know what you call it, like standing up on the bike and stuff I had never seen before. So that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and doing wheelies, they're 29-inch bikes, they're jumping off stairs, and it's not any pressure whatsoever. It's all casual. It's just casual, man. All colors, black, white, brown, yellow, everything, all types of people getting along, no negativity whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then you did take breaks about every half hour, which is really cool. And
it was technically a smoke break, but
yeah. But they took breaks. You get water, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was cool is we came up to a hill, and I'm like, oh man, I better start working this hill out. I'm sure everybody's gonna ride. I'm trying to get up this hill, and I looked, and everybody's walking their bikes. It wasn't even that steep of a hill, and I was just thinking, these are my people, man. This is we're on the same wavelength. Walk up the hills, ride the downhills. Little here, little there. It was just, man, especially seeing Craig and his family, and all the guys from Marina, everybody that came down from up north. We thank you guys for coming down.
George from Night Bike.
Night Bikes, Night Bike Company. He's making frame. He made I saw a 24-inch frame with a double top tube.
Oh, wow.
I even rode the bike. Very clean looking bike. You guys should check that out.
Yeah.
Felt like a 22, but it was a 24-inch. I couldn't believe it. What else?
For me, it was just cool meeting Craig in person because I've been watching the Big Bike BMX interviews for probably a month now since I've heard about them. And he was really easy to get along with, really cool guy, just kind of like got along, or felt like we'd known each other for a long time already. It was kind of like that. And then the ride out was cool. I feel like I progressed a decent amount with my wheelies yesterday, or on Tuesday when we did it. Just riding with those guys, seeing how they were doing it. It was a good time overall, for sure.
It's just like Mike Buff said a long time ago. He goes, man, there's no stress. It's mellow. Nobody's going, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? It's just like, everybody's just kind of doing their own thing, and nobody really cares about what's going on. But it was really, man, it was just cool with all these bikes, and you're just riding. And I saw, so this kid he must have been about 13 or 15, on a yellow GT, I think, 26-inch, ripping these wheelies out. He had calipers. A lot of these guys are going to calipers, or they got the stud in the frame, the two brakes, just like we ride on the new Freestyle bikes, but they're hydraulic. They're hydraulic, man, and they work. Man, they felt better than discs. Quieter, stickier. The brakes are so on. I don't know how you feather them, but that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I still don't understand what the significance of that is. I just need to learn about that still.
Well,
like caliper versus...
Okay, so we have disc brakes on here. Okay, and I don't know the exact term, but on my bike, how the brakes squeeze the rim to stop?
Yes.
Here we squeeze a rotor. But those guys were riding big bikes with brakes that squeeze the rim.
I see.
But they were hydraulic. I've never seen hydraulic
opposed to cable.
Center pole. I guess you could call them center poles. I don't know what they call them nowadays.
And those work better than disc, or what?
The ones I rode a guy's 29-inch bike, And man, one finger and you could lock up that back wheel without even knowing it. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah, he said he's had them for like 3 months and he's still getting used to feathering those, I think.
How about he was wheeling all over the place?
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So.
Yeah, there were guys doing hand drags, which was really cool. What is it, swerving? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
They go like right up to the cars and then last second.
So I get it now. I get what these young guys are doing. They like if you look at the bike, the seat is like this. So when they're on a wheelie, it's flat. Okay, so it's just like they're sitting on a regular seat, and they get the bike super steep, and they go really fast. So the gyro of the front wheel is just anywhere they want to go. It's not easy to do that. And then they just kind of sit there like they're sitting in a chair, and they just steer that wheel wherever they want to go. And yeah, it's really impressive to see it live.
It is.
Switching their feet to the pegs, remember that?
Doing what?
The guy was doing a wheelie, and then he'd be on the back pegs, and they'd switch over.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff.
Then they like kneel on the seat, and they're like they're doing all the foot stuff or whatever. For me too, it was cool because I never expected to see something like that going on in the Monterey area. I guess they do it pretty frequently, which is cool. And then also just like riding in the street opposed to on the bike lane or on the sidewalk, that's really fun too. Like we went down Cannery Row, and it was just like first time ever riding a bike down like the middle of Cannery Row, but it was really cool to do.
Oh, and here, this is cool too. The guy, so we all finished back at Home Depot. Half of the ride was at nighttime, which is also really nice. And I went up to him and I said, "Hey man, happy birthday." And next thing I know, he's walking around with a box of like 100 cookies.
Yeah.
That were in bags that he was passing out to everybody that his mom had made. Just passing out cookies, And then this little kid that went on, man, he was like maybe 5, 6.
Yeah. There was a couple little kids that were there. It was cool.
That rode. They made it halfway, which was I didn't even know. I don't know how they got there, but he was giving out some cookies too. So I mean, I was just it was really cool to be around bikes, and you could still do stuff, entertain yourself with tricks or wheelies or whatever, or just watching. Yet socialize and it was a
cool group of people.
Yeah,
just really easy to get along with, and
it was an eye opener because like I said before, I thought the big bike fat tire thing. I'm like, I don't get that. That is just the dumbest looking thing. And you guys go on rides? What do you do on these rides?
I want to go on more now of the ride outs. These SE ones.
I don't know about the one with 3,000 people though, man.
Why not?
Well, you'd have to have a trailer with food because you're not going to be able to get into the store that they stop at.
Yeah, that's true. I think for me, it seems like just in general, people who are into riding bikes seem to be, for us that we've experienced so far, they all seem to be really cool. Like every time we go up to Santa Cruz, whether it's the depot or Polo Grounds or even Harvey West, it's like we make friends with whoever's riding pretty much every time we go there. It just seems
of
like
all ages, right?
Yeah, of all ages. So it's like, I don't know, I think that's just pretty consistent with the whole bike thing.
And they seem to be very like-minded.
Yeah,
is that
definitely.
too big a word for you?
Like-minded?
Yeah.
Maybe right now.
They think like us.
Yeah.
That's a bad joke because he's educated and I'm not. So, yeah, like we were at Harvey West, and this mom and her 2 kids, a 5 and a 9-year-old, all rode up on bikes, and the mom is riding the track, the 5-year-old is riding the track, the 9-year-old is riding the track. And I think our best conversation was with the 5-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, they were all really cool, but yeah, they were
talking about backflips. He's like, "You can backflip this thing."
Yeah.
And it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it's on the little trip Duke and I went on a couple years ago, I met a guy that's 65 and he's number 1 in the 60 and over class or something in racing. We had a good chat. So you just meet so many people, but with the same similar interest, and that seems to be turning out to be a really cool thing.
Yeah, it is.
And it was mellow. It wasn't like there was nothing like, "Oh, you can't wheelie," or "You can't do this," or "You can't do that."
It still sucked not being able to do it though, watching those guys, because a lot of the guys, they could do just like crazy stuff, and they could wheelie for days. And then I could I can pop it up for like a few seconds, but
You got that bike up a curb.
well, not wheeling. That's different.
But you front wheel up to the curb.
Yeah.
I mean, road, like at speed. That's pretty good. So, I'm not going to tell them about hitting the curb on the SE.
About what?
Hitting the curb on the SE.
Well, we filmed that.
So, can I talk about it?
Yeah, of course. You can do whatever you want.
I like that. So, I was riding my Mike Buff PK Ripper Fat bike, whatever you call it, from SE. Love that bike. And we're like, with those tires on it, man, that's a dangerous thing, because those tires, all they do is they tell the rider, test me, see what I can put up with, So we went up to a normal size curb, full speed, and just ran right into the curb, and all it did was turn into a jump. It just, you hit that, back tire hits it, and you fly right over it. A curb. I would never do that. I've never done that in my life.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of the big tires open up a lot more things than you think. Definitely.
Yeah. It's just like they're super like springy or bouncy, so it's like they just launch you,
Yeah, and it makes you don't even you feel a little bump when you hit that curb, but not a big deal.
Yeah, it's soft.
This one guy, there's a whole nother thing about this, and that's customizing your bike. It's not just your riding abilities. It could be riding abilities, could be socializing. There was guys on, old grandma looking bikes with gears.
Yeah.
But this one guy had that color paint where it changes colors as you look at it, hand stitched pads, custom hubs, handmade grips. It's just like building a Harley. They just really go all in, their own idea on what it did, what it should be. And I love the creativity too. So there's a lot more that goes on these rides than you would imagine. It's really a really cool thing. I'm really happy that Dylan talked me into doing it too.
So you're down to go on more then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I don't know about 3,000 people and 36 miles, man. That would be...
Well, yeah, 36 miles, you just drop off when you're done, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Cool. All right, well, is there anything else you want to talk about for the recap of our ride out?
I don't think so. I think that's about it. But, I've definitely been on a little high since then, right? Have you?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I was excited because it was way less competitive. I'm very competitive in freestyle. That's just my mentality.
Yeah.
So you're always, and this was so casual and laid back. I love the practicing the tricks over and over, but this gave me a whole nother side that I really needed.
Yeah, it was just different.
Yeah, it was very
something
good.
different. Yeah, good workout too.
You could plan your vacations that, tomorrow we got that ride to go on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right?
Yeah, if it was a cool destination.
Yeah. Well, all the destinations we go to are pretty much the same.
No,
there's the
what?
ocean, there's the beach, there's your hotel, there's where you eat,
No way.
Yeah, yeah. But throw bike riding in there and it gets a lot better. You even said that when you were in France. You said there's bike parks.
Yeah, there were really cool ones. Like right on the river too, which was sick. Alright, well, before we go, we wanted to tell you guys that we have all of our merchandise up on the website. So we got both the shirts up there, all the stickers, and then we also have a mask up there as well. So that's pretty much it.
You got a lot of orders today, huh?
Yeah, we did actually. That was really cool. First day up, and there was I haven't even counted how many orders, but they just keep coming in, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's like a compliment. It's nice that people like what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we really put a lot of detail and work into just the overall packaging as well as the design and the material we used for the shirts. So I think it took a while to get it all together, but I think it was definitely worth the wait. So you guys will be happy.
Yeah, I was stressing on that, huh?
I was too.
I was like, man. Anyways, I was stressing big time, and then you know, gotta get that business mentality, and then Dylan's just like, hold on, and
Well, and it was also just like we got the shirts done, and we're like, oh, cool, we're ready to put everything online, and then it's like, oh, wait, we got to think about, do we want to do like custom shipping materials and stuff, and then it's like you get that done, and it's like something just keeps popping up that you forgot about or you just didn't expect that needed to get done. So, but we're there now, everything's up, so that's really cool.
your patience is paying off.
Yes.
Your patience is paying off.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
Yes. Yes, that's me. I'm king of patience.
Definitely.
Okay. We're good?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. That wraps up the recap of our Seaside Rideout, and hopefully we'll be going on more rideouts soon.
Yeah, and if you get a chance to just check one out, grab your mom's bike or, you know, whatever. Go on your 20-inch. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Check it out. If you haven't been, it's a very cool experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Todd Lyons is like king daddy of all that, huh?
He is. Yeah, the ones that they put on are pretty cool.
Yeah, everybody knows Todd, and Todd's at everything. I don't even. I think there's two of them. There's no way somebody could get around that much. It's like, hey, I'm in Alaska. Next day's in New York.
I don't think I've seen a picture or video of him without those glasses on, so I'm not really sure what he looks like without them. All right, we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.